All right, listen up, man. Let's get right down to the business. You read the title, right? Sexual energy is a super fuel for your sadhana. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. Your sexual energy, when conservated, when redirected, when transmuted properly through the practice of semen retention and through the path of celibacy, becomes a super fuel for your sadhana, aka your spiritual practices. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? What is sadhana? What is spiritual practices? How does my sexual energy super fuel it? Is it premium gas? Is it regular gas? Is this shit diesel? Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get grounded, because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey of using the practice of semen retention and using the path of celibacy as a tool it was intended to be, to help you elevate on every single plane of existence. I'm talking about mental, physical, and spiritual, is that your sexual energy is a form of electricity. Yes, so you heard me right. Let that marinate in your mind. Let that sink into your psyche. Your sexual energy is a form of spiritual electricity, aka prana. You might be wondering, okay, man, you got to make that make sense. How is it electricity? Relax. Let me break it down. Let me break it down. You see, in life, we are all swimming in an ocean of energy, an ocean of vibration, an ocean of frequency. Energy is expressed in many different ways, shapes, and forms. And the different shapes and forms that it is expressed also alters its amplification powers. What do I mean by that? Some sources of energy are more powerful than others. Some sources of prana are more powerful than others. And your sexual energy is the most potent force of prana that you have access to as a man within your very system. It is stronger than air, it is stronger than water, it's stronger than food. This source of prana is like electricity. And what do I mean by electricity? This source of prana has life gathered within it. It is life force energy. It is vital energy. This is the only reason that I'm here. It's the only reason that you're here. It's the only reason these plants and animals are here. It's that sexual energy. It's the electricity within that prana, because it is a creative source of energy. It is a cosmic force. It is a cosmic current that can turn on so many different planes of consciousness within you. And that's why when you learn how to harness it properly, when you learn how to redirect it properly, when you learn how to sublimate it properly, and when you learn how to transmute it properly, this source of energy becomes a super fuel for your spiritual practices, for your sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practices in the yogic philosophy. If you don't know, well, now you know. When you harness this electricity, instead of depleting it, instead of dispelling it, because let's be honest, like the guy that plays on the Milwaukee Bucks, not be honest, I'm talking about let's be honest. When you dispel and deplete yourself of your sexual energy, you lose and you feel firsthand for yourself the lack of that spiritual electricity within you, the lack of that Shakti within you. You feel depleted, you feel drained, you feel dumb, you feel drained and just disconnected. You're just droned out, you're like a zombie. That post-nut clarity is simply just you depleting yourself of all that electricity. You dull yourself, you diminish your energy that could be transmuted into such higher forms. You see, the whole path of the spiritual journey is about tapping into the higher planes of consciousness. It's about turning on those higher faculties that are kept dormant, that are kept latent within the mind of mankind. In today's day and age, in the modern world that we live in, the Maya, the Matrix, the illusion, the material world is all designed in specific ways to dumb you down, to keep you away from ever awakening this dormant spiritual faculties within you. Because they know, the Maya, the Matrix, the illusion, the elites, whatever you want to call them, they know that when mankind turns those faculties on, turns those psychic centers on, he is no longer a cog in the machine of the Matrix. He becomes a sovereign entity. He's no longer a pawn on the chessboard. He's not able to be molded and controlled because he has taken back over dominion and command over his own consciousness. He's no longer a slave to his senses. And this is why they put things out in front of you to make you a slave to your senses, so you're always blocked from that. Pornography, junk food, mindless entertainment, hookup culture, all this BS is blocking you from ever using that electricity to turn on your higher faculties. Think about it like this. All your electricity is going to is some dull old lights, old light bulbs. Your energy only travels up to the sex center, the sex chakra, the Svadhisthana chakra, the second plane of consciousness, and then the energy is depleted, diminished. So wherever that energy goes is where your mind will be geared towards in life. You see, the more that you engage in spilling your seed, the more that you think of life in a sexual manner. This is how any addiction is born, because you are stuck in that plane of consciousness. When you're stuck in a certain plane of consciousness, the way that you see the world is all affected by that plane. It's like putting on a pair of glasses. If I put on a red pair of glasses, all I see in the world is red. When you put on the glasses of sexuality, all you see in the world is sex. Every girl that you see, you're just encapsulated by her. Every single urge that you feel, you think that you got to release your seed. That's what they want, to pull that energy out of you, to pull that electricity out of you. But when you learn to conserve it, when you learn to harness it, when you learn to redirect it through the path of self-mastery, you can channel this energy all the way up to your higher planes of consciousness. And I know it sounds crazy. Oh man, just like water bending and fucking sexual energy bending. No, it's literally what's going on a metaphysical layer. I know it sounds crazy, but when you learn to channel it through specific practices, you'll see what I'm saying. You'll pick up what the fuck I'm putting down, because your mind starts to expand beyond the sexual plane, beyond that domain. You dig what I'm saying? Come on, man, that's a ball. Write it down. Write that bitch down. You start to ascend up the ladder. You start to ascend up the spine. And when you ascend up the spine, you get closer and closer to what? The voice of the divine. I'm just spitting out here, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Put me in a booth, put me in a studio. I'll make an album for y'all. But back to what I was saying. When you start to hear the voice of the divine, when you start to reconnect to that, this is what I mean by semen retention and your sexual energy is a super fuel for your sadhana, for your spiritual practices, because that's what you're trying to do in your sadhana, in your spiritual practices. You're trying to cut off the noise of the external world, cut off the noise of the ego, cut off the noise of all your expectations, cut off the noise of all your external identifications in order to listen back to that inner silence, which is the voice of God that reverberates within your very being. And that voice of God, even though it might not be audible like I'm talking to you right now, it is a voice that speaks to your soul, not to your ears, to your soul. You see what I'm saying? And this voice guides you on the path that you're supposed to be on. It guides you towards the gateway back to Godhood, the gateway to glory. It guides you to your Dharma. aka your destiny. Why your soul has incarnated on this plane with this specific body, with this specific brain. There's a reason to it. And that reason is not simply just to satisfy your senses. It's not here to just stimulate your centers of survival, sex, and status. If that was the case, if that was all you were brought here to do, you would have came here as an animal, because an animal, that's all it can do. Survive, reproduce, and achieve status. Human beings have that capability, but they're living just in the animal kingdom if they keep their consciousness constricted to that. And that's what the material world wants to do to you. And when you dispel your sexual energy, it keeps you stuck in that. Because all you think about is what? Survival, sex, and status when you keep pressing that button. Every time you release, you're essentially pressing a button that is pulling down your consciousness to the lower planes. And then all you see in the world is sex. That's all you care about. That's all that's going on within your mind. And sex is not evil. Sex is not bad. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm not here to tell you have to be celibate for life. But what I am telling you is that when you harness your sexual energy, which is directly correlated to your plane of consciousness, you can actually raise this up to the point where you start to see life in a totally different manner. From a third eye perspective, from a bird's eye perspective. And from that bird's eye perspective, you can see things from a higher ceiling or a higher plane. And as you see right there, the AC-130, the helicopters are after me by speaking this game. They're up on the higher planes. You dig what I'm saying? You basically shoot up to those higher faculties like this helicopter is doing. You can see things from a much greater distance. And that is your consciousness seeing your life at a much higher plane and realizing, oh damn, this world is temporary. This flesh and bones is not who I really am. And as much as the world is telling me, hey man, just survive, chase sex, and achieve status, I know that this is just a hamster wheel of desires that'll never stop. It'll never end. No matter how many cars, clothes, money, hoes that I get, I'll never truly satisfy my soul. That's what your sadhana shows you. That's what your spiritual practices show you. But also, it shows you what is going to satisfy your soul, which is your dharma, which is your destiny. The longer that you retain, the longer that you redirect this energy, the more starts to become revealed about what this path is, what this journey is for you specifically. I don't know your destiny, I don't know your dharma, but what I do know is that you must dissolve the karmas in order to see that. And that's what this practice of celibacy provides you with, the energy to do that. Just retaining your seed will not do that. This is why I say sexual energy is a super fuel for your sadhana. Just having gas ain't enough, right? You need to put a gas in a motherfucking car to be able to drive. The vehicle is your sadhana, your spiritual practices, your meditations, your pranayama, your fasting, all these different types of things that we talk about here on this channel, on the main channel, The Philosopher. If you don't know about the main channel yet, man, come on now, bro. That's where we dish out and discuss and go in depth to our highly professional looking kind of content, detailed documentary style content, high edited. So if you like that type of stuff, definitely check out the link posted in the description box down below to tune into the main channel, The Philosopher, because right here, this is the second channel. Right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games with no cuts, no edits. Just straight up speaking off the dome. This is the Philosopher Files. If you like this raw content, this is what we do here. But if you like the clean-cut, professional documentary styles, that's what we got on the main channel, The Philosopher. Again, link in the description box down below. Under that link to my YouTube channel, the main channel, you'll find a link to my Instagram. If you ever want to DM me to discuss about any of these types of topics, that's what it's there for, man. Chop it up, connect with your boy, shoot me a DM, whatever it is. But all the stuff, again, that we talk about on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, again, description box down below. Make sure you go run it up, motherfucker. All the stuff that we talk about on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, let's take a quick pause. Because if I'm talking to those men right now, if you made it this far into the video and you're one of those men who are on this path of self-mastery, who are truly devoted to actually unlocking your highest potential on every plane of existence. I'm not just talking about self-improvement highest potential. I'm talking about self-mastery highest potential, aka realizing who you truly are beyond the brain and body, because self-improvement won't get you there. Self-mastery will. If you're someone truly dedicated to that path, and I'm talking to you right now, listen up. Because I'm gonna need you to take a pause, whatever you're doing right now, and go take a good look in the mirror, the next closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in a car window. I don't care if it's in your selfie camera of your phone. I don't care if it's in your bathroom. Do whatever it takes to go and take a good, hard look in the mirror. I'll wait here. I'll wait. I'll wait. Go find that mirror, motherfucker, and take a good, hard look in it. Take a good mental picture of that man that's staring right into your eyes within the mirror, that's staring right into your soul within that mirror. Once you get a nice, good click-clack Kodak moment and a mental picture, analyze within your mind, let it marinate within your mind, let it sink into your psyche. I need you, yes you motherfucker, to realize that you're doing that guy, not me. The person that's staring right into your eyes, the person that's staring right into your soul when you look into the mirror, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. Because again, if you're a true spiritual aspirant of this path and you truly want to discover who it is beyond your brain and body and what it is you were really brought here to do, aside from just satisfying and stimulating the senses, then you are missing out on all the game for your motherfucking brain that we are discussing and breaking down over there on the private Patreon community. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find here on this channel, on the main channel, matter of fact, anywhere else on the internet, because we are truly uncovering this esoteric science of self-mastery over there. So not only do you get access to all those exclusive videos, but also our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle of the private Patreon community, aka the highest tier, you'll get an invitation to our private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Bi-weekly video calls where you hop in a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery. If you want to be surrounded with people that actually want to hold you accountable, want to see you elevate, and eventually want to see you liberate on every plane of existence, I'm telling you, bro, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you. Not many men are going to be on the same path as you and I. This is why we have built this community inside of the inner circle. If you want a strong support system, if you want to be around evolved individuals just like yourself, I'm telling you, man, I can guarantee 100% that the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you, my guy. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle as well as the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box, the pinned comment. Description box is where you'll find my Instagram and the main channel, but I'm talking about the pinned comment. Just scroll down to the comment section, you'll see it right there. Click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page where you'll find access to the private Patreon community as well as the other links and services I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. If you're someone who is truly, truly, truly serious about taking this path seriously, taking this path to heart, and actually ready to dissolve all those karmas that is blocking you from developing that sadhana that is going to be your tool, your vessel, your vehicle to discover your dharma, to discover your destiny. That's what this coaching program is all about. It's all about dissolving your karmas in order to discover your dharma. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in working with me personally one-on-one to help guide you along that journey, shoot me an application form and we'll see if your entry meets the qualifications and criteria of this coaching program. Because again, this is all about creating a personalized approach to this path of self-mastery for you specifically. If you're ready to detox, disintegrate, and overall dissolve all these degenerate habits that are blocking you from ever discovering your divine potential and what it is that you truly are beyond the brain and body, and what it is you were really brought here to do aside from just satisfying the senses. You're sick and tired of just living a life of mediocrity. I'm telling you, man, this is what this path is all about. This is what this program is all about. But of course, if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy, discuss anything that you're dealing with to help you get back on the right track towards your destiny, towards your dharma, and systemize a solution to get out of that stuck position that you're in. That's what we got there for you as well. You can just book a call by using that link. But again, all that good stuff posted in the pinned comments video. Just click that link. You'll be forwarded to our page, and you can pick and choose which one of these services best suit you. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community, especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about those tools, those foundational elements that builds up your sadhana, that builds up your spiritual practices. Some people might meditate using mantras. Some people might meditate using the breath. Some people might meditate staring at a holy symbol. So many different ways. But at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is, again, silence the mind. Detach the mind from the external entanglements. Detach the mind from all that karma that is accumulated by being stuck as a slave to your senses. I always bring up this analogy when it comes to what meditation is, and it comes from the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita states that meditation is like a turtle. A turtle has its arms out of its shell, its legs out of its shell, its head out of its shell. But when we go into meditation, it's like the turtle retracting its arm, retracting its leg, retracting its head back into the shell. It's like bringing your attention, which is one arm, your focus, the other arm, the legs, your awareness, the head, your plane of consciousness, back from the external world, which is always pulling your energy focus towards things like survival, sex, and status, bringing it back inwards. When we're not bringing it back into the shell, we are bringing it back into the self, the inner self, which is that inner voice, that inner guru, that inner guide that will help you navigate on this pathway back to the divine. Your sexual energy is a super fuel for that process to take place. It's that electricity that supercharges it, takes it up to another level. This is why all the great yogis, the saints, the sages, all throughout human history, from all different cultures and traditions, not just the yogic path, but every culture and tradition, talked about the importance of celibacy for a true spiritual aspirant. If that is you, if you are on that path, if you're trying to uncover who it is and remember what it is that you are beyond the brain and body, accompanied by what it is you were brought here to do, what is that pathway that will truly fulfill your soul within this life, that will eventually liberate your spirit in life. This is the journey that you must take. This is the pathway of self-mastery. Your sadhana, your spiritual practices, are like the steps you take along the mountain of self-mastery. Semen retention, your sexual energy, is just boosting you every step along the way. Instead of taking one step, you take two steps. Instead of taking one step, let me say that again, along this path of self-mastery, along the mountain, as you're hiking up, you see, there's a mountain within you and within me, and I call that the mountain of self-mastery. It is similar to your spine. And what do I mean by the spine? This is your mountain. You see, this is your nervous system. This is where all your planes of consciousness are, the chakras. Wherever you're at on the spine is, again, where you are located at on the planes of consciousness, which again directly influence the world that you see right in front of you. The higher you climb up this ladder, Jacob's ladder if you want to call it that, and each step again is by what? Your sadhana. Instead of taking one step, you can take two steps, jump steps. You know, if you're ever walking somewhere as a kid and you're just going up 3-4 steps at a time, that's what happens to you along this ascending path up the mountain of self-mastery when you practice semen retention and conserve your sexual energy in the proper way it was intended to be in these spiritual practices. You start to skip steps, in a sense. You start to enhance your sadhana. You start to take things to the next level, because that electricity is now being directed towards your enlightenment rather than your degeneration. You see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down, man? Semen retention is far, 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 far deeper than just quitting porn, than just stop beating your meat, than just not hooking up with girls. It is a source of super fuel for your spiritual advancement. You see what I'm saying? Your sexual energy is that source of superfuel for your spiritual advancement. But what do? on a day-to-day basis. Most guys waste it, deplete it. And guess why they feel so disconnected from their spirit? You know that depression that you feel, that anxiety that you feel, that dread that you feel, that's not fucking imbalances within your mind. That is disconnection from the divine. God damn, that's a bar. Let me say that again. Somebody clip this, somebody tattoo it, put it on your wall, whatever it is, so you remember what I'm saying. Come on, bro. That anxiety, that depression that you feel within your mind is not just an imbalance within your neurochemistry. It's not an imbalance within your mind. It is a sign. Oh man, why am I rhyming so much? It is a sign that you are disconnected from the divine. Your divine self is trying to tell you, hey bro, this ain't the right path. Hey bro, you're on the wrong road. You're about to drive off the cliff. You're about to kill us, bro. And it's not a physical death. It's talking about a spiritual death. You're about to decay the soul, turn the car around. But what do? We numb it out with more degeneracy, with more bullshit. Because that's what the world gives us. That's what they feed you. That's what they force down your throat. Pause. When you harness and take back power, take back the reins of your own mind and your own body, you start to awaken back to the soul. This is why I have on the intro video of my main channel, The Philosopher, of the personal brand, I have the animation of the Holy Trinity in my eyes, which is all about pure, unlocking the mind, purifying the body in order to awaken the soul. That is my philosophy, better yet, my philosophy, come on now, man, of what self-mastery is about. When you unlock the mind, purify the body, and awaken your soul, you start to connect back with the divine. You start to master the self. You start to get back into realization of who you are beyond the brain and body and what it is you're really brought here to do. You're not brought here just to survive, chase sex, and achieve status. You're brought here for something much deeper, much bigger than you can even imagine. The divine has already designed a pathway for you to be truly fulfilled in life, but you forgot it. You forgot it because you're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia. The electricity that lights up the bulb is your sexual energy. And when that sexual energy is finally reclaimed and redirected through all the practices that we talk about again here on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, the private Patreon community, especially within my personalized coaching programs, those practices help you redirect it towards those outlets that shine that inner light within you. And when that inner light is finally turned on, when it's finally lit, that spiritual darkness fades away and you walk through life as a divine vessel, instrument of God. You start being guided intuitively towards the path of illumination. That's how deep this practice goes. Not a lot of motherfuckers, matter of fact, I don't think any motherfuckers talking about this here on YouTube. They talk about, yeah, female attraction, this, that. No, man, I'm talking about the way that you can use your sexual energy to liberate you, to unlock higher planes of consciousness, to unlock divine knowledge that is held up in your higher faculties that I like to call gnosis. You see, gnosis is not something that you'll find in a book. It's not something that you'll find in a podcast. It's not something you'll find in the external world. This is internal knowledge. And it's internal knowledge on what is your pathway and who it is you're really brought here to become. You ain't gonna find that from me. You ain't gonna find that from anybody. That is knowledge of your destiny. That is knowledge of your dharma. That is kept within your soul's encoded DNA. That is dormant until you put the plug back into the socket. And that plug, that electricity, is your sexual energy, plugging back into those higher faculties. Unplug it from the lower faculties and plug it into the higher faculties. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully these analogies are making sense, my guy. Hopefully these analogies are making sense, my boy. This is what I mean when I say it enhances your sadhana. It detaches you from all the entanglements of that karma that you build up due to being a slave to your senses. You see, again, the material world throws all these distractions in your way to cloud you of that inner vision. It can never destroy your dharma. It can never dispel your dharma. It can never hide you from your true self, but it can distract you from never looking that way. I always bring up this analogy when it comes to your dharma. Your dharma is like the sun. Sometimes the sun is blocked by all these clouds, blocked by the rain, blocked by the snow. Does that mean the sun is not there? No, the sun is always shining. Each and every single day. Doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, doesn't matter if it's cloudy. That is your true self within you that is up in these higher faculties. However, the clouds, the snow, the rain cover up the sun and creates this illusion of who you think you are. You think it's cloudy, you think it's snowing, you think that's what life is all about. There is no sun anymore. And that is, those karmas act like those clouds. And these karmas are derived from the carnal mind, from consumerism. And this is what, in today's day and age, we are stuck in. This is called Kali Yuga. Within the yogi tradition, there are different cycles of time, and we are living specifically in Kali Yuga, where carnality is at an all-time high and consciousness is at an all-time low. What is carnality? It is those animalistic instincts, survival, sex, status. Look around you. Be honest with yourself. What are most people thinking about all the time, 24/7, 365 days a year? Survival, sex, and status. That is the main majority. That is the mainstream thought. That is the mainstream plane of consciousness. That is what's more prominent. But it doesn't mean that you have to get sucked up into that. If you made it this far into the video, there's some reason you see through the veil. I don't know how it happened, but you are already on the path. You would not be listening to me for this fucking long. I know I'm entertaining. I know I look good, but come on now, man. You would have clicked off by now if this wasn't a part of your journey already. This ain't a big channel. I don't get millions of views. I'm talking to the real aspirants though. So if you made it into this part of the video, you've shown yourself you are an aspirant. This is actually connecting. You are picking up what I'm putting down because you understand, better yet, understand what I'm saying. Most people cannot listen to a video for this long. That's why I always say the people that watch this channel specifically, the second channel, the Philosopher Files, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping you out at games. You guys can make these gains. You dig what I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are already in the 1% of the population that is not suffering from brain rot, that is not suffering from that carnal state of consciousness. You still have some ties probably, but you are rising above it slowly but surely. Most people can't watch a video for this long, and you add on top of that these deeper topics that we discuss here, it goes right over most people's heads. But you are grasping it for some reason. I don't know why, I don't know how. Maybe some of the karmas that you've dissolved in this lifetime and past lifetime, but right now you're in a position to actually take this information and apply it into your life. So if you're not actually making that actionable step towards the right direction along this pathway of self-mastery, along the mountain of self-mastery that leads up to the road to self-realization, you're doing yourself a huge fucking disfavor. Not many people will be born into this incarnation where they can grasp this type of education. And again, it's not about me. Forget about the messenger. Focus on the message. What I'm saying has been said and done multiple times. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9, there is nothing new under the sun. All I'm doing, my dharma, my destiny for the time being, is to revive this ancient wisdom, revive this ancient knowledge of the past that has been provided to us by the true awakened masters, by the true sages, the true mystics, the true holy men who realize that there is a pathway, there is a blueprint for mankind to reach back to the states of divine bliss. If you want a taste of that divine nectar, you better listen to what these motherfuckers are saying. Don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm just an instrument that is trying to make this knowledge more practical, more modernized for you as men to apply into your life in today's day and age. So when you listen to this, it's great that you're able to grasp and comprehend it, but that's just all up in the mind. That's knowledge. You need to turn this knowledge into gnosis. Knowledge resides up in the mind, gnosis resides in the heart. How do you make that transfer? Is through first-hand experience.